What's up, everybody? Real excited to be back here. It's been, golly, 5, 6
It's been
weeks.
a minute.
It's been a while. Sorry, guys, for the delay. We got this guy that just decided to take a trip to Kentucky, and then he was sick before his trip, and then I was sick after his trip.
Yep.
And then flu season hit us like a brick wall, and here we are.
Here we are. It's good to be back.
Yeah, welcome back to Honest Spirits, where we try
Before you buy, hopefully.
I'm Grady.
I am Jason.
We got to finish our Stagg lineups today.
Yes.
Well, not necessarily finish, but kind of finish. Today we have, let's see, last time we did 18, so we have, would be 19, 20, 21, 22, but Stagg said, haha, we're going to change all of our names and all the fun stuff once we get to a certain point. So we have 22B, which was released, oddly enough, thanks Buffalo Trace, before 22A. And then we have 23A and 23B. 23B is the one that was just released, but we decided not to do fresh cracks anymore on the podcast for your guys' sake and sanity and for science. Last time we picked 14 for 14, 15, and 16, and 16.
Oh, no. 13, 14, 15.
Yeah, 13, 14, 15. Sorry, guys. It's been a while. 14, 13, 14, and 15. And then 16 for 16, 17, and 18. Yep. So we're even numbers only so far.
So far.
I wonder if we can stand the test of time with that early numbers only thing.
Only time will tell.
Oh, look at you go. All right, my friends. Let's go with 22B.
22B. Which came out before A, which we don't know why.
Cool.
By the way, sorry everyone, but I'm trying to do No Shave November. It's itchy, but I'm trying to get through it. I don't know if you guys can see this, but...
Why?
I don't know. I've never done it before. Just figured I'd do it once.
It's itchy, and it's the 13th. You're going to be riding that struggle bus for about 17.
Struggle bus is right.
17 more
it's
days.
It's coming all multicolored.
Oh.
Speaking of multicolored.
It's a pretty good color. A little bit lighter.
Yeah.
For our Stagg friends.
It's really got nice brown sugar and butterscotch and sort of toffee. It just smells sweet. I don't get a lot of oak on this, do you?
Nope. Cheers.
Cheers. So yeah, here we go.
Kind of dark. A little bit dark chocolate.
A lot of dark chocolate.
Yeah.
I love that.
Really?
Yeah.
So I remember not loving it, and I still don't think I love it. Yeah.
Well, this is the first sip of whiskey I've had in 2 days, so maybe that's why I love it.
It's good. It's good, man. It's good. Values, all of these are going to be 5s for us, so we're just going to skip that portion.
Yeah, no doubt.
Never judged on the first sip, so...
Once again, cheers.
Cheers.
I guess before I take my second sip, it did end with a little bit of ethanol, but
it's not as much heat on the second sip. It's not super complex. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the drawback to this.
Yep,
it's really sweet and yummy. It's like 3 or 4 notes instead of its usual.
This kind of reminds me of Batch 18.
Oh,
I don't love it. But I also remember not loving it when I opened it either.
Well,
but like we've said for all the others, for Stagg, it's still better than 90% of
what's out there.
So
100%
for Stagg, it's not the best. But
all right, next is the 23A. 22A, excuse me.
Which was
a little fruit.
Golly, it smells amazing. It smells finished. It smells like sauternes or like
something. It's fruity.
Fruity tooty.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey, what did you guys think about 22B and 22A? I remember liking 22A a lot better, but 22A was a lot more allocated, a lot harder to find.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that already on the nose, it's better, but it just hits. It hits like a Stagg. And the 22B did not hit like a Stagg.
Oh, yeah.
It's punchy. It's delicious.
It's a little bit of, it's not a lot of mouth sting and mouth warming.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything to add.
Hey, cheers to you guys, whatever you're drinking.
I mean, yeah, so.
All right, early on. The 22s.
A is already winning.
Yep. A knocks out. Ooh, a little bit like cherry cough syrup on that. Cherry cola. Finish that off there.
On the finish?
Yep. All right, before we move on to the 23s.
Yeah.
Complexity and drinkability for 22B.
Complexity was only about a 3 for Stagg, maybe even slightly lower, 2.75. But yeah, obviously we already talked about drinkability. I think it's super drinkable, especially for a Stagg.
Yep, I put it at about a
4.25. Yeah.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
And as we said, value is
5. Yep.
Nice.
Okay, and 22A.
A lot more complex.
A lot more complex.
That's why it's winning.
Yep, I put it at about a 3.75, 4.
Yeah.
In that realm, and then drinkability, I'd say it's quite a bit more drinkable for me. Just it's a lot more unique.
I think for the average human, I think it's not as drinkable as the 22B.
Correct.
But that's kind of
hopefully
trying to judge for everyone else. That's what I do. Anyway.
Hopefully, you're not the average human.
Probably most of the people watching this podcast are not just, I started with Jim Beam yesterday, and
now I'm going to Stagg.
Now I'm going to Stagg. Yeah, anyway. Probably a mistake.
All right, 23 time. 23 and me.
Chromosomally speaking.
23 and me. What a segue.
Right.
All right. 23A. Smells pretty good, man. Smells like a little bit of a mix of the A and the B of 22.
Yeah, kind of. It doesn't
have the sweet punch that 22A did. Doesn't mean that it's not still fabulous. Huzzah. That's interesting.
It's funny. It tastes like it's a blend of the 22A and B.
It really does. Yep. It really does. Because you get a little bit of that chocolate woody note. And then on the front end, you get a little bit of fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But on the back, you get the woody chocolate. Again, let us know what you guys thought of the A and Bs of the last couple batches if you were able to try them. Really curious on your thoughts.
It's definitely the oakiest of the 3 so far. And not in a bad way. I don't think it's over oaked. I think it's just right. If it had a tiny bit more fruit overall and a tiny bit more butterscotch overall. It's a little stringent, right?
Complexity.
It's fairly complex. 3.75.
That's exactly what I was going to say. 3.75 and drinkability. I wouldn't say it's super drinkable comparatively Stagg wise. I'd go 3.5.
Yeah. Yeah, 3.25 to 3.5.
It's a little more woody.
But again, the value's through the roof, so. All right. Last but not least, we ran out of mini Karens, so if it looks weird, that's why.
It is what it is.
We're doing that. This is the
if
23B.
You know.
Oh, get your nose in there, people.
Oh,
get your nose in there.
Just stick it way in there.
That's what she said. I was waiting. I opened it up for you.
Hey. Don't you just want to swim in there? Hey, cheers to you, man.
This doesn't have as powerful a nose as the 22A does.
Oh, dang. I'm so disappointed.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. It's a little lighter.
It is.
I think the proof is a little bit lower on that one.
I think so.
I want to say it's 127 in that range. Let's see what it says.
Still get a little of that barrel char, but not nearly as much as the 23A. So the 23B is a little bit like a slightly lighter version, I think, of the 23A. Yeah, it's super drinkable. Again, this reminds you know what it reminds me of? You're not going to agree with me. This actually reminds me of a higher proof Blanton's. That's what it tastes like. It's kind of bland duns.
You know what?
For a Stagg,
Believe it or not, coming from me, you're not going to believe this. I actually have an open bottle of Bland's in my cabinet.
Say what?
I know.
It's for guests.
It's for guests.
It's for guests.
It is. It's for guests who think Bland's is the bee's knees out of 9.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Continue to think that. I really hope that 95% of the population continue to think that. That way, there's more of this for the right people.
Yep. Agreed.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of, is a high proof Bland's.
I'm going to try it. I see where you're getting that. And going from all of the other things, which are 130 plus, 130, 132, 130, 130, it might make sense.
And it could very well be that we're just not getting the power, even though this one is, what does that say?
127.8.
Which is still pretty high proof for bourbon. It's just, it doesn't taste that way after these three, and it literally, in my mouth, tastes like Blanton's at a higher proof.
Is that what she said?
A better version of the regular Blanton's. Yeah, that's crazy.
Anyways, all right. Complexity and drinkability of the A and the B of the 23s.
Well, I wouldn't go higher than 3.5 on either of those on complexity. I feel like the 23A was slightly more complex, so let's give that a 3.7, and I'll give the 23B a 3.5.
I think I'm going to go...
Actually, it might be lower than that.
I think I'm going to go opposite of you. I'm going to go 3.5 of 23A and 3.7 of 23B.
Okay.
I just don't look... I don't typically love a super oaky punch.
That's fair, but complexity versus drinkability here. Do you think? True.
I think I'm 3.5, or I think I'm 3.7 and 3.5 on both complexity and drinkability.
Okay.
Yep. So we're in the 3.5 to 4 range on both of them. And again, these ratings are for Stagg. You know, not necessarily for the market because
not really ranking them against other whiskeys, to be honest.
Right. All right, my friends.
So the winner of the evening,
I think it's got to be 22A.
Yeah, hands down.
It's got to be 22A. So that would be 18, 19, 20. Batch 20. Again, we like even numbers for whatever reason. So, hey, next week we're going to be looking at something maybe a little bit different than Stagg. You'll have to tune in and see. So, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Stick around, hang around, do whatever you want. I don't know. All right, guys. See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.